The Law of Least Effort. In this award winning book, Guns, Germs, and Steel, anthropologist and biologist J.T. Diamond points out a simple fact: different continents have different shapes. At first glance, this statement seems rather obvious and unimportant, but it turns out to have a profound impact on human behavior. The primary axis of the Americans runs from north to south, that is, the landmass of North and South America tends to be tall and thin rather than wide and fat. Tall and thin rather than wide and fat. The same is generally true for Africa. Meanwhile, the landmass that makes up Europe, Asia, and the Middle East is the opposite. This massive stretch of land tends to be more east-west in shape. According to Diamond, this difference in shape played a significant role in the spread of agriculture over the centuries. When agriculture began to spread around the globe, farmers had an easier time expanding along east-west routes that then along north-south-west, then along north-south ones. This is because location along the same latitude generally share similar climate, amounts of sunlight and rainfall, and changes in season. These factors allowed farmers in Europe and Asia to domesticate a few crops and grow them along the entire stretch of land from France to China. By comparison, the climate varies greatly when traveling from north to south. Just imagine how different the weather is in Florida compared to Canada. You can be the most talented farmer in the world, but it will not help you grow Florida oranges in the Canadian winter. The shape of human behavior: west orientation, east west orientation, north south orientation, north south, east west. The primary axis of Europe and Asia is east west. East west. The primary axis of the Americans and Africa is north-south. Africa and America north-south. This leads to a wider range of climates up and down the Americas than across Europe and Asia. The result, agriculture spread nearly twice as fast across Europe and Asia than it did elsewhere. The behavior of farmers, even across hundreds or thousands of years, was constrained by the amount of friction of the environment. Friction in the environment. Snow is a poor substitute for soil. In order to spread crops along north-south routes, farmers would need to find and domesticate new plants whenever the climate changed. As a result, agriculture spread 2 to 3 times faster across Asia and Europe than it did up and down the Americas over the span of centuries. This small difference had a very big impact. Increased food production allowed for more rapid population growth. With more people, these cultures were able to build stronger armies and were better equipped to develop new technology. The changes started out with smaller crop that spread slightly farther, a population that grew slightly faster but compounded into substantial differences over time. The spread of agriculture provides an example of the third law of behavior change on a global scale. Conventional wisdom holds that motivation is the key to habit change. Maybe if you really wanted it, you would actually do it. But the truth is, our real motivation is to be lazy and to do what is convenient. And despite what the latest productivity bestseller will tell you, this is a smart strategy, not a dumb one. Energy is precious, and the brain is wired to conserve it whenever possible. It is a human nature to follow the law of least effort, which states that when deciding between two similar options, people will naturally gravitate toward the option that requires the least amount of work. For example, if you are your farm to the east where you can grow the same crop rather than heading north where the climate is different. Out of all possible actions, we could take the one that is realized is the one that delivers the most value. For this least effort, we are motivated to do what is easy. This is a foundational principle in physics where it is known as the principle of least action. It is the path followed between any 2 points will always be the path requiring the least energy. This simple principle underpins the laws of universe. From this one idea, you can describe the laws of motion and relativity. Every action requires a certain amount of energy. The more energy required, the less likely it is to occur. If your goal is to 100 push-ups per day, that is a lot of energy. In the beginning, when you are motivated and excited, you can master the strength to get started. But after a few days, you some massive efforts feel exhausting. Meanwhile, sticking on to the habit of doing one push-up per day requires almost no energy to get started, and the less energy a habit requires, the more likely it is to occur. Now look at any behavior that fills up much of your life, and you will see that it can be performed with very low levels of motivation. Habits like scrolling up your phone or checking email and watching so much of our time because they can be performed almost without effort. They are remarkably convenient. In a sense, every habit is just an obstacle to getting what you really want. Dieting is an obstacle to getting fit. Meditation is an obstacle to feeling calm. Journaling is an obstacle to thinking clearly. You don't actually want the habit itself. What you really want is the outcome the habit delivers. The greater the obstacle, that is, the more difficult the habit, the more friction there is between you and your desired end state. This is why it is crucial to make your habits so easy that you will do them even when you don't feel like it. If you can make your good habits more convenient, you will be more likely to follow through on them. But what about all the moments when we seem to do the opposite? If we are all so lazy, then how do you explain people accomplishing hard things like raising a child or starting a business or climbing Mount Everest? Certainly, you are capable of doing very hard things. The problem is that some days you feel like doing the hard work, and some days you feel like giving in. On the tough days, it is crucial to have as many things working in your favor as possible so that you can overcome the challenges life naturally throws your way. The less friction you face, the easier it is for your stronger self to emerge. The idea behind make it easy to is not only do easy things, the idea is to make it as easy as possible in the moment to think that pay off in the long run. How to achieve more with less effort. This is 153 and this is 260, like 100 pages left. How to achieve more with less effort, which is the next chapter. I should read in next minutes. Okay. Atomic habits. Bye. I'm wearing my rings, so these are my rings. This is the first, and this is the second one, and these are the third, and these are the fourth. So, okay, bye.